that way or flip it, Devin?
Wait, flip it again. Let me see.
Or this way.
I think this way is better.
This way?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
just
get the
back
full
up a little
screen.
bit and you Gucci. Yup, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah, feel it.
Yo, Rod, David Hensley should have sent you the link for the 17th. We need to
I
push.
got that on the screen already, son. I got that on the
We're gonna
screen
do.
already. Where is it? Right here. I got that already.
So
Oh,
gotta.
so you ready? So we're gonna do that first.
I'm gonna shout out. Okay, blah, 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 back to blue Greenville, and then back to blue
Look on the screen.
Pinehurst.
Southern Pines.
Southern Pines. Is that a commercial?
No, that's just the flyer.
Oh, I had a play. It looked like a play button.
All right. So what I'm saying to you is we're gonna do that first, but we're gonna start with school choice.
What's that noise?
What noise?
Like water running?
My fault. That's me. Hold on. That's my brother doing dishes. Yeah,
That sound like over here, bro.
yeah. Hold on. Let me.
Yo, and we don't have a Mason crying. What's going on, bro?
He sleep. Nah, he sleep. Usually the baby cries before every show, but he sleep.
I just became an blood uncle the other day.
Ah,
Oh, awesome.
I
So,
became
so you
great.
know what we gonna do? Ali, they start taking some account of some names for the game too.
Gotcha.
All right. So we're gonna do school choice matters.
Show me a
Ali.
pen. School choice. What are you talking about?
The intro video is gonna be the Shamika Michelle school choice, and then I'll
Got
do the 30-second counting, and then we'll be live.
All right.
I then I'll bring them in. Hold on a second. Brother Daniel, do you prefer Danny or Daniel?
Anything is fine with me. I
How do
actually
you
go by both. So, Devin
okay? How
calls
do
me
you
Danny all the
pronounce your
time.
last name?
Liriano.
Liriano.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. All right, cool. I'm sorry because I don't like mispronouncing
I
people.
Rob,
appreciate that.
I'll do the red, white, and blue.
You'll do the red, white, and blue. I'll set you up to do the red, white, and blue by mentioning and thanking everybody that came out to our event Sunday.
All right. Do we have to Greenville, or you want me to just mention it?
What?
I want to do the back to blue Greenville because that's coming up Saturday.
Yeah, where's the flyer?
It's on Facebook.
Nope, we don't have it then. I'm not going through that.
I'll just shout it out. Don't worry about it.
All right. And then I'll pull this one up. All right. So we're gonna do Shamika Michelle. All right, I'm gonna put you guys in the background. Y'all will hear us do our intro. And once we do our Noah down the steps. She said Noah, you still going. You better clean your ears out. All right, so yeah, you'll hear us introduce you guys. We'll do our intro. Ali, you good?
I'm super ready, brother.
Okay, so I'm gonna put them in the background. I'm gonna put him in the background. I'm gonna mute you, Ali. I got your mute. I got mine. Let's go full screen with this. Stop share. Start share. Hold on, Ali. Hold on. Say it again.
I'm getting a pop. When you're talking, I'm getting a pop noise.
All right. Yeah, that's just part of the game.
All right, whatever works.
All right. I got my mute. I got your mute. Oh, hold on. Share screen.
I think I'm on Wi-Fi, bro. Maybe that's the problem.
One of my
No, don't worry
viewers is
about
saying
it.
the audio is low.
There we go. We
Yeah.
got that up. All right, so we're gonna transition from this
So
to
check and see what your
what you call it to your event to our shout out Suffolk County. You mentioned Pine, whatever, not Southern Pines, the other one,
It is Southern Pine. I'll do Greenville, and then I'll do Southern Pine.
Greenville, Southern Pines. Okay, and I'll pull up the Southern Pines flyer. All right, we full screen on that. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. 110, 100. All right, let's make sure that I want to make sure that's full screen. Exit full screen. Okay. All right, here we go, Ali. I'm gonna mute you. Let's do it like this. All right. Here we go in 10, 9, 8, 7. I'm on mute. You there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna forego the intro video and just go right in.
All right. He said, "No, not doing that."
Yeah, we're gonna forego that. I'm gonna hit them with the we'll share let me see, what do we share? All right, we'll start off with this for a minute of sharing. Hold on. Share Chrome tab. We can hit them with this for a minute of sharing. Share. All right, we'll hit them with that for the intro, Ali. We'll do 1 minute of sharing, and then you'll see the count in.
Just put up the Hensley for School Board.
You said put up the Hensley for School Board. I don't think I have a space for it.
Yeah, there you go. That's good enough.
All right, so we'll do that. That's what we're doing. All right, so we're going live in 10. We're going live in 10, 9, 8. I got your mute. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. All right, peace and love to the family. You are tuned in to the Urban Conservative Podcast. This is Raheem Architect Soto, one half of the Urban Conservative. Bro, you in? You there? You there?
I'm in the building, bro. This is Abdul Ali, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Urban Conservative Podcast. Today, we are being brought to you by our good friend David Hensley for School Board out in Moore County, North Carolina. In a world of Kardashians, be a Curie. And if you don't know who Madame Curie is, then I suggest you go do a little Googling. But shout out to the homeboy David Hensley running for Moore County School Board. Wants to bring some accountability, some much needed leadership, and some much needed direction to the school board out there in Moore County. Also, go back and check out the episode of the Urban Conservative podcast that we did with him called The Pleasure Principle. Some of you guys might be very, very surprised about what the brother David Hensley.
Right. And also, Ali, I have to make mention that I don't know if you guys can see what's on the screen, but he's very well qualified for the position. So please go to his Facebook page here, as you can see, and look him up and look at what he has going on. Watch some of his videos. He goes into detail, and he has a plan to really help get the ratings of these schools up out there in Moore County. So I think you guys might want to go definitely take a look at that.
Indeed, brother. Indeed. And shouts out to the brother David Hensley running for Moore County School Board. We're actually going to have him back on the Urban Conservative in the next couple of days. So stay tuned, ladies and
All
gentlemen,
right,
for
mama, we
that.
live.
Also, along the bottom of the screen, as usual, see a little Cash App, $TU Conservative. That is how you can support what we are doing here at the Urban Conservative. We know times is tough, and we just reopening back up. So if you can't do a Cash App, we appreciate the likes. We appreciate the shares. We appreciate you guys watching on YouTube. You're either on YouTube or you're on Facebook. Either way, we really appreciate all the love. As usual, jump in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. No matter where you are across the country, we want to know where we have folks checking in from. Yo, Rob, before I get into my stuff, what you got?
All right, so really quickly, I want to shout everybody out again that came out Sunday to the Suffolk County Back to Blue rally. It was amazing to see so many Trump supporters riding up and down the LIE, up and down Sunrise Highway. Shout out to all of the Republican groups, Suffolk County Young Republicans, the Suffolk County GOP, all of the local town GOPs, all of the PBA organizations, law enforcement organizations. It was just a really, really beautiful day out. It was a perfect day for it. Wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. And it was just a beautiful day out in Suffolk County, man. And it was just a wonderful thing. So shout out to everybody that attended that. You got some Back to Blue stuff coming up too, right?
Oh, yeah. First of all, Saturday, the 10th, we're going to be at the Pitt County Courthouse for the Greenville Back to Blue. Shouts out to the homeboy Joe for putting that together. He's got the largest blue line flag in the world going to be out there. It's huge. I'm going to be speaking. We have Congressman, State House rep, and some other important folks that are going to be in the building. So again, that is Saturday morning, 10 a.m., Greenville, North Carolina. Telling you that's going to be off the chain. I'm going to be out there speaking along with a host of other folks. It's going to be food, fun, and we're going to be supporting law enforcement, which those folks can really use our support right now, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's an absolute fact. So, what else we got? We got something else coming up.
Oh, major. Since we talked about David Hensley, shouts out to the homegirl Emily Grace, because we are going to be hosting the Back to Red, White, and Blue out there in Southern Pines with the homeboy David Hensley. So super shouts out to everybody involved with that. We're going to be supporting Moore County's first responders out there, back the red, the white, and the blue. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, bring your family. It's free. They're going to have food trucks, live music, kid activities. The Urban Conservatives are going to be hosting that. So
we're going to have fun.
If you've never been to anything we've hosted, you're not going to want to miss that one. So Moore County, Cumberland County, everybody around there, make sure you get on out. Support the red, white, and blue Saturday, October 17th from 1 to 4. That's when that's going down.
All right. So I think that's it for the shout outs. And at this point, Ali, we could get ready to bring our guest on. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we're trying to do here. We're trying to promote conservative values to people whose freckles, and that's not even the way to say it. What we're trying to do is get people back in touch with their conservative values and to recognize and identify that a lot of what you actually
would want. Side, bro, that hair is bothering me. Just get the other side. You got one sticking out of it. That's irking me. Sorry. It's just
So listen. But you know the spiel, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we're trying to do with this. We want to have these conversations with people who look like us and get them to understand that Republicans are not your enemy, and that we have a historic position within the Republican Party and with these conservative values, and us trying to be a conservative media outlet for those of us that are doing the work out, promoting candidates on these campaign trails. There's a lot of organizations. There's a lot of Republican organizations, and inside of these organizations, you have the youth Republican groups from around the country. So today is a special day for us because we came up in this county. We came up in Westchester County. It's a very dear place to us. So without further ado, I want to get our good friend Devin and the brother Daniel from the Westchester County Republicans on to the Urban Conservative. Let's get these brothers in here. What's going on, family? What's good? What's good?
What's going on,
Hey
brothers?
guys, thanks for having us on.
Yep, absolutely. How you good brothers doing today?
Doing well, we're doing well. I'm sorry that wave was a little awkward. I thought it was gonna look a lot better until I did it. I know it's gonna be like a far away thing, but it's literally just right in front of the screen.
Yo, so before we get this off, and we didn't talk about this off air, gentlemen. We didn't say much off air. We try to keep this fresh. We learn about you guys as along with the audience. But what you don't realize is that we grew up in the Westchester County Department of Social Services system. That's where we came up at. Foster care, juvenile detention. We were in Cardinal McCluskey Group Home there in White Plains. A few different foster homes in Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, and Yonkers. So we've got a very, very near and dear to our heart in Westchester County. Our formative years came out there.
So our aunt is actually a professor at Iona College too. They have a literary festival in her name at the college, the Ruby Saunders Literary Festival, which is an awesome thing. You know what I mean? I just think that's a pretty cool thing. But so I'm excited to talk to you guys and get reacquainted with what's going on the ground there in Westchester County. But before we do that, I would say we'll start with you, Brother Daniel. Just give us a little bit of background, and then we'll go to you, Devin. Give us a little bit of background about where you guys are from, a little bit about how you came up and got involved in the Republican movement. We'll start with you, Brother Daniel.
Okay, so I'd say that the journey for me into the Republican Party started about 2 years ago. I had a friend who went to school with me, and he said he was in a debate and got owned by a Trump supporter over systemic racism. He got owned in a debate in the classroom, and so he started watching Trump videos. I'm going over his house, we're hanging out, kicking it, and he starts putting on these videos because he's trying to like get enough information to beat the guy in the debate, and he ends up turning into a Trump supporter. So then he starts showing me videos, and I start, acknowledging that, I grew up with mostly conservative ideals, but I was never taught that I had a real choice in what party I could go to. So I was really an independent since the age of 18. And then as of, I'd say, a year and a half ago, I registered as a Republican, and now I'm trying to, get involved locally. I joined the Young Republicans last October, so I've made a year now with us, and Devin's been leading me into, the local scene, and he's been a great help, and I'm appreciating the time that I'm having with the club.
So should I start?
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Devin O'Rourke. I am a Yonkers born and raised guy. I got involved in the party because one day I was watching TV and I saw a guy named Rob Astorino, who at the time was running for county executive on TV. I thought to myself, that's the kind of guy who should be county executive. At the time, I didn't know who the county executive was, but I thought if Rob Astorino was a county executive, that was a shame. So I called the campaign headquarters, and from there it blossomed to now I'm actually sitting as the Young Republican chairman, and I was actually awarded by the New York State YRs the Rising Star of the Year for Westchester County for the whole New York State Young Republican organization.
So look, quick question. I just gotta ask y'all this: is 41 or 40 the cutoff for the YRs in New York?
41.
Yeah.
Okay.
41st birthday.
Yeah, we aged out last year. They kicked me out.
Listen, it's not about it's about what's here.
Yeah, if you're young at heart, then you're good.
You're young at heart. You can come to our meetings, so we don't do anything. It's just you can't vote on who gets to be chair.
Ah, there you go. There you go. So listen, guys, I'm curious about
in here. They're like, you only got 48 left. Still a couple of those left. Yeah, it's okay.
So I'm curious about something with what's going on in Westchester County. I mentioned it a little bit off air before we jumped on. And Devin, you were telling me it's kind of like 3-1 Democrats.
It is 3-1 Democrat to Republican, right? Or it's not quite there. It's not quite there, but it's getting there. Yonkers is the one. I got to confuse with Yonkers backstage. Yonkers hit 3-1 Democrat this year. Westchester's on its way.
Wow. So what are you guys doing on the ground and that ride out there?
So currently we're doing two things. We are actually doing more voter registration drives. I have to say, I give credit where it's due. That's been heavily spearheaded by my vice chair, Ashley McCarrick, or the club's vice chair, Ashley McCarrick. She's fantastic. She's like almost like the mom of the club. And the other thing we do is I've been working heavily with one of our members, Aaron Spring. Danny's come to a lot of them also. Aaron, Danny, and I have been doing cleanups to kind of show up to neighborhoods where we normally lose, not just 3-1. We normally losing 12, 13, 14 to 1, showing up, cleaning, and saying, we're here. We're not these monsters sometimes you make us out to seem. We're just like you, and just getting them in there that Republicans do exist and they're here to help.
So Daniel, I'm gonna kind of pivot over to you real quick.
Ali, for the record, Mason's in the background crying, so we're gonna have a good show.
Yes, if y'all have never watched the Urban Conservative, we gotta get some baby crying in the background. That's the thing. He doesn't cry until we go live, so that's the nature of the beast. But Daniel, I'm curious. I know you said and that was part of my brother and I situation, was trying to prove what we thought wrong, like to win the debate. What has been the most surprising thing to you about being part of the Republican Party?
I think it. I think what it like the vitriol that the left has for minorities that think differently is so immense. It was so surprising to me. I didn't expect this much attack from friends and family. I thought that people weren't even gonna care, but to see people come at you with such disdain over political beliefs that in many instances they don't even fully understand it, that was what really caught me by surprise. And having to adjust, having differences with your friends and having your friends challenge you every time Trump says something that we are like, oh, come on, you shouldn't have said that. But it's been that constant struggle. But I like rolling with the punches because I've always been that argumentative type. So whenever someone tries to prove me wrong, I'm usually trying not to belittle them, but to convince them to come to my side.
Gotcha. And I came up with something the other day because I kept getting called coon, like over and over. I get called coon, so I adopted a little moniker. Coon actually stands for constantly overcoming oppressive nonsense. So use that as.
That is definitely getting stolen right now.
Okay. Don't forget, we'll have that on an Urban Conservative T-shirt at some point. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all can get it here.
I'll be the first to wear it in public. Ask Devin. I love T-shirts.
Okay. He loves his T-shirts.
Yo, so Devin.
Yeah, my question, real quick, I wanted to ask something to Devin. So doing this is the YR thing, right? How has it been for you? Like, what has this experience been like for you? Have you gotten a lot of like kind of the same question we asked him, but what's been some of the surprising things that you've ran into doing this kind of work?
Let me tell you, the most surprising thing is that despite technology, despite everything, it still comes down to you have to make a relationship with every single person who's helping out. I like to think that all my members of the club think I'm their friend, because I consider every member of the Westchester Young Republicans my friend. And I've grown relationships with everybody. I text, I keep in contact with them. Biggest thing that I've learned is if you are a leader of an organization, every member of that organization you should be reaching out at least every 3 months to see how they are, if not every month. I try to do every month. It's very difficult. There's always like two people where I'm like, oh man, it's been like 4 months since I talked to them. But it's a lot of people. But that old school way of like almost like that machine politics works well for the club, where it's like you're their friend, and they should know you. You should be just a friend in there. That was the biggest thing. You don't just go. I know some people do find success running straight to social media. That's not always the way to go. Sometimes it's about making someone your friend, and then from there they feel comfortable bringing their friends, and you grow that way.
Yeah, that organic growth, that real growth. Yeah, absolutely. So if you can, right, and I guess you guys could kind of both take this question, because I get a feeling you might answer it from different perspectives. But if you had to bring somebody, because we get viewers from around the country, from here to literally from here to Hawaii, and if you had to bring somebody into the political world of Westchester County, right, being a young Republican, how would you describe that to them? Like, give them that political climate explanation before we get into that.
Is it the Westchester political climate or the Yonkers political climate? Because those are two drastically different things.
See, that's what I
So
mean. You didn't give me
Westchester, I would say,
exactly.
Oh man.
okay. Oh man. So Westchester, it's an afterthought. Republican. I like think people think we're an afterthought. We're making a comeback right now. We have terrific candidates running for office. We have Maureen Shulman running for Congress for New York 17, Shel Farley running for Congress New York 18, Rob Astorino running for District 40 against Senator Pete Harcum, Labibu Hussein Avici, who's running for District 37 against Shelley Mayer, and then Bill Weber, who has a town in Ossining, but he's also running in Rockland. So I would say that sometimes they may think we're an afterthought. We're not. And oftentimes, when you start thinking we're an afterthought, is when we'll be taking soon be taking power in the future. And Yonkers, I think, is such like a weird thing where it's like uh, Yonkers. It's like there's almost like three parties. You have your Democrats, your Republicans, and then your New Democrats. Like the way it just breaks down, it's like there's two Democrat parties, and then there's a Republican Party. Obviously, we actually have elected officials in Yonkers. We have Councilman Anthony Moranti and Councilman Mike Breen, who are both huge supporters of the club. I love them both, and they're up there with a Councilman John Ruble, who's like a New Democrat, Councilwoman Corazon Pineda, who likes her like a New Democrat, Mayor Mike Spano, all of them. So it's much weirder. Republicans are able to get along a little better in Yonkers with the
Are
Democrats, I find.
Democrats, are they hard leftists or what you're dealing with there?
In Westchester, yes. In Yonkers, no.
So
Or there are some in Yonkers. I should really be clear. There are some Yonkers that are, but I find they're a little more down to earth in Yonkers.
so they're not the defund the police kind of folks. They're not. What? And I'm curious. So we're gonna let Daniel to hop on this
Yes.
with the whole bail reform thing. That was a big issue in New York State. How bad did that impact you guys there in Westchester County?
I'd say it was actually, well, as you can see, the crime rate in New York City skyrocketed, and that trickled over into Westchester County. So a lot of the lower areas like Yonkers, Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, the cities that had a more minority population, saw an influx in crime, and you saw homeless people also rampant in the streets. So that's always been a problem, but it got worse with that whole bail reform stuff, and it made the entire state just looked bad, real
Yeah,
bad, especially when you looked at how it affected the black community negatively.
right, right. Devin, you look like you were gonna chime in on that, bro.
Oh, I was actually started the defund the police. I'm actually a little surprised. It really has. I haven't seen. I've seen some of it in Westchester, but not much. But their thing they're saying is reimagine policing. So I don't really know what that really means. I gotta be honest. I've not gotten an answer, though I really haven't asked.
Okay,
Right. You know what? I'm curious when I ask about the climate out there, right? So like, do people are people open there about politics? Like, is it a contentious thing just in like everyday life? You know what I mean?
I was gonna say
Or
maybe
is it?
Devin. I
Yeah.
was gonna say Devin take over his side of Yonkers. I'll take over
Oh,
my side of Yonkers.
yeah. So I would say probably doesn't touch your everyday life, especially there are parts of Westchester where there is still a lively Republican Party, so your neighbors are Republican, etc. There are other parts where, like, you might consider there are no Republicans, so it doesn't really affect you. So I would say the day to day life, it really doesn't change too much. I'm sure there are certain people who would completely disagree with me, but I find the climate's not too bad. I mean, we get a nasty, message on our YR page once in a while. I would say once a month, someone sends us something nasty, which I'm literally saying I'm going around, I'm eating babies, stuff like that. Like, somebody, called, uh, you know, Danny. I forgot what they called Danny. It was something stupid where it's just like, of course, it was like Danny you're going after right now. So, but
Yeah.
other than that, like that's the worst I can say. That's pretty good for the political climate because I know
Yeah.
it's much worse elsewhere.
Yeah. I was gonna say so. Like, I live in Southwest Yonkers, and it's a more minority populated area. So sometimes I would walk outside with a Trump hat on, and I would get these funny looks, and or I'll get somebody, saying something, out their mouths, at the side of their mouth. So it can get a bit, hostile depending on who you're talking to, who you're around. I usually don't go at nighttime, and I usually don't walk in front of certain people with the hat on, just to avoid that type of confrontation. Just because there is ignorance, and from what I've seen on social media, the hostility that I've gotten, I know that out into the streets, it's gonna be way worse. So you kind of sometimes you want to rep the Trump stuff just because you want people to kind of challenge you. You want to invite that conversation, but you also don't want to invite a butt whooping. So it's kind of
Right.
you got to balance it.
Like me and my brother say, we want to avoid any unnecessary roughness.
Exactly, man. I don't want no flags out here, man.
Well,
Real quick, Ali, before you go. So, what do you guys think about living in a time where that is the case? Because honestly, like, are we talking about gang warfare where I can't wear my red rag or he's gonna bang on you? Is that what we're talking about here? Like, is it that serious that because I support the president somehow now that makes me worthy of being accosted? Like, is it just me or is that a bit weird?
I was gonna say, you want to take that over, Denver? I'll take that over because
Oh, I think it's a little weird, but I think there have always been people who were very upset. So the worst thing I ever got called face to face was somebody threw something. This happened to me in high school. Somebody threw something at me and called me like a Nazi. It was like a thing. Called me a Nazi. It's called me a racist Nazi. I was wearing a John McCain pin. I mean, a lot of that stuff. It's always been out here. Yeah, racist Nazi because I had a John McCain pin on. Didn't even say it wasn't even like McCain pin. It was just a John McCain pin. I was a racist Nazi. Why do I hate everybody? So some of that attitude's always been there. You'll always have those extremists on either side. I feel that it's definitely gotten worse in the last couple of years.
which is sad. It's really sad.
Yeah, I just that I always use that as an example. Like some of that's always been there.
Mm.
yeah. And I was gonna also kind of chime into. I think that with social media, obviously everyone has a platform and a voice, but one of the things that we don't have is, you know, people getting their information from reliable sources. A lot of people are getting their information from memes, and they create these straw mans of the other side, and no one's really hearing each other out. And so I think that the political climate today is probably a lot more divided than we've seen in the past, but it's because we're a lot more. It's weird. It's like we got closer to each other because we're more connected than ever with social media and everything, and it's driving us apart because of our differences and because we can't get a handle on what's right and what's wrong, and at least hear each other out.
You know what I find interesting that y'all kind of alluded to is this new thing about Trump didn't denounce white supremacy at the debate. And I'm like, all you have to do is Google the phrase Trump denouncing white supremacy, and like 30 videos come up where he's like, racism is evil, white supremacy is evil, neo Nazis are bad. Like he's got 40 videos. He's done it repeatedly. And then the other thing is the Proud Boys are white supremacists when the guy's name is Enrique Tarrio. Like he's an Afro-Cuban dude. It's like, who are we getting our information from? You're absolutely right. It's like you got smartphones, but you got dumber people. There you go. And just real quick, ladies and gentlemen, at around the 30-minute mark, you are tuned into the Urban Conservative. We got Daniel Liriano and Devin O'Rourke with the Westchester County Young Republican Club in the building. Westchester County, New York, that is. We're talking Westchester County politics with some young Republican future leaders of Westchester County, New York, a place that is near and dear to us. Ra, you look like you had a question, Ra.
Nah. I was just sharing the page. And I'm like I said, I'm really interested. So, what are the important races going on out there? Like, if you had to, I don't want to say prioritize them, but what are the important races that you really want would help you guys out there in Westchester County, part one, and then part two, like what is the mechanism that people can get involved with the Westchester County Young Republican Club and the Republicans in general, because part of what we want to do is let people know, people like yourself, Devin, you said something important that you want to be available to the people. You know, kind of let us know what, like I said, what's the important races out there? What races are what are the contested things going on out there that are necessary to flip out there in Westchester?
It's all important to flip. I'll keep it. I'm gonna ask every
Oh
kid
man.
in Westchester.
oh,
Every kid in Westchester
oh,
from like here for
oh,
the next couple minutes.
yeah.
Don't listen. Just skip over it. I would say County Executive Astorito, Senate District 40 is one of the most important races in the state to flip. And I would say New York 17 and New York 18 are incredibly important to flip for control of the U.S. House of Representatives.
As you could see
And
from
I would
Devin's
say
nervous laugh, we are not doing very well down here.
No, and that's the reason I asked that question. So
Senate District 40 is also very important. It is just, and it's a very competitive race. We have one town, and we do help Mr. Bill Weber. It's a Rockland district. I
Gotcha.
don't want to like make him like put him up when it's I have like two members who live in his seat. It's like
you
a
know what? And kind
20,000.
of not to cut you short, but I'm just curious what you guys think of this. So being involved in this, how important is it for people to get involved in their local politics and understand in the local aspect, because people think the power trickles from down, from up down, and it doesn't work that way. I'm pretty sure you guys know that it starts local. So how important would you tell people that knowing what's going on with these local elections are? You know what I mean?
It's incredibly important. You'd be shocked the amount of national figures everybody looks at today who started because they were a town councilman, school board member, city councilman. Like the one that two that just shoot up top of my head, Barack Obama, Marco Rubio, both started in local politics and local political machine. Rubio came out of the Miami-Dade Republican political machine. Barack Obama came out of the Cook County political machine. I mean, it's incredibly important to know who's there. You never know if in 20 years that one guy who knocked on your door and was like, hey, I'd like to give you a piece of literature and ask you to vote for me, ends up running for president. I mean, Rob Astorino was a school board member at age 21. He ran for governor in 2014.
Wow.
It's important. I think I always stress that like all politics is local at some level.
That's a fact. I could definitely agree with that. Daniel, you look like you were about to chime in on that,
Oh
bro.
yeah, definitely. Like when I first started getting into the political like scene, just started getting information and stuff. I started to realize how little the federal government affected my life when I looked at how my vote is gonna go. Like let's be honest here, our vote towards Trump isn't gonna mean crap because the electoral vote's gonna go to the Democrat nominee in New York anyway. So it's like you start to realize that hey, you know my vote has more power at the state and local level. So I need to take advantage of the fact that I have more power in this, and I can really make bigger changes in where my vote has more power. So it's really important.
No, I think that you just hit the nail on the head. That's kind of one of the primary reasons we do this show, is because we want people to get engaged at such a local level, and then really the power trickles from us as citizens up. It doesn't work the other way, and I'm so sick of that narrative. Like there's this overarching evil hand of the man that's at the top that no one can find, and it's like they out to get us, brother. But they ain't blue, right? And no, we never been a big fan of that. But Ali, what do you got? You got something else? Because I kind of want to get into that other
I
thing.
got some names, bro. I got some names.
Okay, so
Coming
so let
up.
me ask this other question, right? Because I'm gonna assume you guys are Trump supporters, right? What was the thing that convinced you to be a Trump supporter? Like, was there an aha moment, or did it take some time? Because, like, our viewers know with me, I didn't listen to anything Trump said for a year.
because I had the TV thing to deal with, and I said, okay, I'm gonna give him a year where I'm not gonna listen to anything that comes out of his mouth. I'm not gonna listen to any of his press. I'm not gonna listen to anything. Let me see what he does. Let's see the job he does. So my aha moment was a year later, looking back at the policies we began to put into effect, not what the media said. So what was that for you guys? Was there something that like, oh yeah, I can see it. You know what I mean? Like, what was that?
I think mine is a little longer than Devin's. Devin probably got this. You want to start that off?
Uh, I can't really think of a particular time. I mean, he's got his promises, etc. I'm a lifelong Republican. I mean, I don't really know when. I didn't actually support him in the primaries. I supported Marco Rubio, and I can't think of a particular time where it was just, you know, he became the guy. I mean, I was a little worried of him at first, because he was at a former. He did say some little things in the past. I was wondering, would he keep all his campaign promises, which he did, and so I've just been ecstatic with him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I got.
That might not be the strongest answer you're looking for. I'm just a lifelong Republican. Like, he's just on my alley, no matter what.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth, brother. Brother Daniel. So what was it for you? Let's stay with the moment.
I could say when I started watching more Alex Jones videos, I started to actually it was Owen Schroyer, my friend, and he started to show me stuff because he had gotten owned and he was doing his research to go back to the argument. Ended up switching to Republicans. So as we started watching videos, I started to consider that maybe Trump isn't that bad, and that maybe the media is just smearing him a bit too much. And as I started to look at what he actually stood for, what he's been doing, and how it's affecting our community, or how it could benefit our community, that was when I said in 2018 that I'm going to register to be a Republican and try to do my best to support the GOP locally and, federally in any way that I can. So here I am, a year, 2 years later, and Devin's been steering me along pretty well.
Awesome.
I just totally failed at grabbing my phone cable. I want to apologize to all your viewers. I just did like a weird thing where I moved, and all of a sudden it's just like I'm all over the place. I just moved like a slightly bit just to make sure I could charge my phone, so I don't like die in the middle of the interview.
No. Just look forward to the memes coming.
Just all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, I could imagine what that is.
Oh yeah, just get ready for that, because the internet has no chill. That's what it is. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Urban Conservative. We've got a long-standing tradition here, and what we like to do with our guests is a little one-word association game. I've been taking some notes as we've been talking, and I've got a list for both of you of some names, and you are only allowed to give one-word response to the names that I'm going to give you. One word and one word only. Two separate lists. So I'm going to go through Devin's list first. All right?
I'm actually really excited for this.
So, first name I got for you, Devin, is Lou Ferrigno.
I like Lou Ferrigno. He's cool. All right, cool.
Cool. He gave us cool. All right, Daniel, your first name is Kanye West.
Special. He is very special to us. I like Kanye, and he's very special to me. He makes great music, says awesome things. He's shaking up the political sphere within the black community. I love it.
All right, so we got special. All right, Devin, I'm back over to you here. Your next name is Thomas Paine.
Lovable.
Okay, he said lovable. Okay.
Lovable.
Gotcha. Okay. Daniel, I got another one for you here. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Lil Uzi Vert.
Flamboyant.
Okay. Yo, Daniel is the master of the ambiguous one word. Yo, he's got the best, most ambiguous answers ever. All right.
Trying to be nice.
Devin, I got another one for you here. Your next name is Rush Limbaugh.
Ben. I like him, but Ben. I
Yeah.
mean, I haven't thought about Rush in years.
All right.
Wow. Okay, that's fair.
All right, Daniel, I got another one for you. Ben Shapiro.
Annoying.
Huh.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He gets it on my nerves sometimes.
All right.
I'll be
Okay,
honest
hold
with you.
on, hold on. In full disclosure, I gotta say this.
All right.
Shout out to the whole Daily Wire staff, but he's in my YouTube, the YouTube feed.
No, yeah, I follow him too. Yeah.
Yo, so listen, I go through the YouTube feed and well, I don't know what video came on. I was just like, dude, this voice is kind of annoying.
Yeah, like I sometimes it
After
gets
like 10
annoying.
minutes, I was just like, nah, I gotta turn this off.
Yeah.
I totally identify with that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the-
No, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's it's just some things that we might disagree on, but he's not bad.
Nah,
I like Ben
what else you
Shapiro
got?
for one reason. He's the king of slipping in an ad. I love the way he slips in.
Yo, his ad transition is flawless.
Nah, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
it's
it
pretty
really
smooth.
Yo, he's
I
the
got,
most.
I got one more for you, Devin.
He gets better over time.
I got one more for you. Ronald Reagan.
I am literally wearing a Ronald Reagan T-shirt right now.
Stop.
Idol.
All right.
Idol. That works. I got one more for you, Daniel. Two more actually. Two more for each of you. Daniel, yours is Barack Obama.
Disappointment.
I gotta ask Devin one, but
Yo, did you hear his Barack Obama answer?
No, what is that?
Disappointment.
Wow, you're not the first person to say that either.
I mean, let's be honest though. That's what he was.
Yeah. Okay, Devin. Last, I got one more for each of y'all after this one. Devin, yours is going to be George Bush the Senior, the first George Bush.
Good.
Hang on, I had a name.
Yo, Rod, you got yours, and then I got the last one for him.
Okay, so for Devin, my name for you is gonna be Hulk Hogan. Then you got.
No, I'm saying like, did he have a whole controversy like where he had a recording of him saying the F word like mad times or something like that?
I don't know.
Oh, something like that. I thought it was so funny.
Probably.
Some funny
I've
stuff.
thought about Hulk Hogan in years.
I know. That's why I said it. I tried to go far left as I could. Hulk Hogan. What do you got?
Almost like a hoe. I just want to go like Hogan. Go with Hogan as it.
Listen, every time I think of Hulk Hogan, I go, "Hey, brother."
That's all.
Oh yeah, hey brother. Yeah, that's really it. Or are you guys Dragon Ball Z fans?
No.
Sort of. I know who they are, but like,
I just whenever I hear him speak, I think of Hercule I think of Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay, got you. All right, yo, Daniel, my name for you was Will Smith.
Beta.
Oh, glad I asked that one. We good.
I was trying to be nice. I was gonna use some more choice
No,
words.
that's cool.
Yeah, trying to be nice. Trying to be nice.
All right, last name for you, Devin. Is Devin O'Rourke.
I almost just said awesome, but I'll go with the awesome.
All right. Good way to go. Daniel, last name for you is Daniel Ariano. What you got?
Out there. That's two words. I can't use that. Renaissance.
Okay, all right.
Renaissance.
I like it. I like it.
Renaissance.
Go ahead, Rob.
No, it's on you.
Okay, so listen, Daniel and Devin, floor is yours. How can people get a hold of the Westchester County Young Republicans? We have folks across the country that love to support young folks and love to support with. So how can folks get a hold and support the Westchester County Young Republicans?
So you can check it out on our new website, which we have to actually update our Facebook with, WestchesterYRs.com. You can find us on Facebook, Westchester YRs. Find us Instagram, Westchester YRs, and on Twitter under Westchester YRs. Send us a DM. Even if you want to send me your phone number, I'll personally reach out to you about joining about any way you can help the club. You can help in so many different ways. And if you wanted to give a donation, I like money, so.
You go. There you go. Daniel, what you got to tack onto that before we close out, brother?
Just tell brothers and sisters out there to keep your heads up. 2020 is going to be a rough year. Politically, economically. Health wise, everything's going haywire. So just keep your heads up. Give God the glory and give Trump a win come 2021.
There you go. So listen, gentlemen, one thing we love to tell our guests is we know time is the one thing you will not get more of in this lifetime. So we are eternally grateful for you taking an hour or so out of your lives to spend it with us here on the Urban Conservative. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been kicking it with Devin O'Rourke and Daniel Liriano from the Westchester Young Republican Clubs. Like you said, check them out everywhere. Westchester YRs. They've got a website. They've got a Facebook page, Instagram, and all that fun stuff you folks do. Again, look out for the Westchester Young Republican Club. They are out there working hard to turn New York red as we need them to. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back before the week more on the Urban Conservative. For my brother over there, Raheem, the architect Soto, I am Abdul Ali. This is the Urban Conservative. We'll check you next time. And we are clear.
That was great.
That was
a lot
awesome.
of fun. I enjoyed that, I have to say. I can't believe you basically looked at me and was like, I wonder what the chance of that guy's wearing a Ronald Reagan shirt right now is. I thought that was hysterical because I'm like, I'm literally wearing I'm wearing a Reagan Bush 84 shirt under this blue shirt.
No. You got to prove that to me right now.
Okay, I'm going to. Just because my phone might soon, but I'm dead serious that I'm wearing a Reagan Bush.
I believe him. I think I've seen that shirt before too.
I didn't want to say anything.
Yo, that's not the kind of shirt you don't wear all the time. That's one of those shirts that.
Facto.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
It was funny. I didn't say it on the show. I'm literally looking at a picture of George H.W. Bush. They just have a brand of one just hanging.
Awesome. So you know what? We're gonna have a pre-election day show on the 29th. You guys are more than welcome. I'll send you guys the link. But we're gonna just have a bunch of different groups of different, other show hosts, other podcasters come on, different candidates coming through. So even if you want to get you guys as candidates on, because after the fact we share, and we're in a lot of Black minority groups, and we share this content everywhere. So the more the merrier. You know what I mean? Let's get it. The 29th, I'll send you a text.
Oh yeah,
you guys
please.
are welcome to come on.
All right.
I would love to see that.
I can't thank you enough for coming on, man. It was a blast, and definitely look forward to having you back.
I didn't expect it to be this much fun, so.
Awesome. All right, good to meet you, gentlemen.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Peace and love.
All right, thank you. That was fun, Danny.
Heck yeah, man. I enjoyed that, man.
I'm going to go before my phone dies.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you, man. Holla at you, man. Be easy. Oh yeah.